What's up guys, how you all doing? Another perfect day for beekeeping. Very sunny out here, no clouds. I wish there was a little bit of clouds, but a couple months ago I showed you most advanced beehive, and I promise you an update what will happen once I have bees. Well, first of all, I did a little bit of update when I put the packages in and the nukes, but today I want to show you how I installed the supers and also how the bees are doing inside of those plastic beehives. Also, I'm doing a little comparison between having the queen excluder, how much bees will bring you honey, and having not a queen excluder. What will actually happen? Let's find out. I don't harvest honey twice a year. I only harvest it at the end of the year anyway, so I'm not too worried about having the queen laying eggs inside of my supers. But this will be a cool experiment. I always see a lot of people arguing, do not put the queen excluder, it's a honey excluder. But then all the commercial people who owns like over 1500 beehives and more, they all use queen excluder. It's just, I guess, your own preference, you know. But yeah, look how bees are flying in on this beehive a lot, and on this beehive just as much. Doing very well. What I do love about these beehives, they have extra ventilation right here, and this beehive have 3 supers right now. I'm gonna open it up and see how they're doing. And also, as you can see, if you don't have plastic supers, you can put wooden super down here. It doesn't latch, but you just put a rack on top of it and it's all interchangeable. This is why I'm saying this is the most advanced beehive. With this one you would have to drill in holes and put in these plastic things, and if you do it wrong, it's like gonna be all flimsy and messed up. And this bottom board, you see there's a mildew all over this bottom board. I don't see any mildew, it's just plastic, get washed off, no problem. I put up honey super about a week ago. I showed you before how to do it, so I figured I don't really have to do a video on that. But this side here is a honeycomb super. This is so amazing. I'm trying this out for the first time, so let me show you what it looks like. For this one you have to use queen excluder or they will just make a mess. Let me lift this up and let me show you. You see there's a plastic frames inside there and there's wax foundation inside there. They're going to build the comb and then they're going to fill it up with honey and cap it off and turn it into honey, right? Well, then everything takes apart and I have lids and I just cover it up and it becomes comb honey. They haven't really started building in it here yet, probably because they still have space in the brood boxes. See how they're doing? Hopefully they're still laying eggs. And also that way we'll compare it to a plastic beehive as well. Boom, everything done out here, but as you can see they're starting to put nectar into this frame, so once they fill up all the way this brood boxes with honey, then they'll go to the super and fill that up as well. Sometimes they won't even produce that much honey, and if they don't, I probably will just split them in a month or two if they're not very productive. But as you can see, this all, I can see liquid a lot inside there and pollen, so that what means they're doing just fine right here. They just need a couple more weeks to fill it all up. Again, this side here is filling up with nectar, this side here as well. Oh yeah, this is the heavy one right here. This one is almost filled up. You see they're capping it off, and right here is fully capped off. Oh yeah, this one is heavy. There you go. This is what we want to see. A lot of capped off brood, a lot of capped off honey. So once they're going to fill up the rest of the brood box with honey, they're going to move on to the super. Well, hopefully. I'm gonna keep checking on them. I'm gonna keep checking on them. If they don't produce that much of a honey, I'm gonna split this beehive into 3 nukes. But for now, we'll just see. This is just came out this spring out of a package, which is amazing. Usually package of bees don't produce you much of a honey at all. Nukes do much better, but there you go. Queen excluder, this right here, a shallow honeycomb, super. I'm really excited. I hope these bees are going to produce a lot of honeycomb, because I never used this before. It will be really cool to show you how it works at the end of the summer and in August. So we'll see how it goes. You see, with these wooden beehives I have to have a weight on top of it or a strap, so that way nothing will fall off with the heavy winds. This beehive I'm using a queen excluder just to see how they're going to do. I can tell that they're not even going to the super just yet. I don't know, is it because of the queen excluder or not? Or maybe it's just too early to check on a honey super. But that's the best way to learn, to try it out for yourself and figure it out your own best way to beekeep. You know, I'm just showing you what I do, but it doesn't mean this is the best way to do it or the right way. This is what works for me in my area. But yeah, I'm really planning to expand to at least 100 beehives in a couple of years. Right now I just have 20, so I have just a little bit of them, that's it. So this beehive has queen excluder, and the other beehive next to it came with the same packages. I bought it from a same supplier, so they were pretty much same packages. And this one will have a queen excluder, and that one will not have a queen excluder on a plastic beehive next to it. And we'll see which one will produce more honey. And also there is another wooden beehive I set up without the queen excluder, so that way we can see the average. Is queen excluder honey excluder like they say, or is it not too big of a deal to have it? This thing is amazing. As you can see, I have 2 deep brood boxes and 1, 2, 3 honey supers. I don't really have to mess with this beehive for like at least a month, and maybe check once in a while, so that make sure they still have enough space to add more honey to it. But look how cool it is. You just open this up and lift it up. They slide in so easily. The supers don't have handles, but that's okay. Okay, I'm taking apart just to see if this beehive without queen excluder is making any honey into the supers yet, or at least they are not the comb. And boom, there you go. So far queen excluder is kind of a honey excluder, but maybe plastic beehive is just better insulated and they don't popularize as much, so they have more free time to actually work on building the comb. They done out on almost every comb. This one they finishing up. They're working really hard and really fast. Wow, that's amazing. So far queen excluder is a minus, but again we'll have to see at the end of the year actually how much honey we'll get, more or less. And I use this spacer so that way they actually can fit in more honey into it. I'm not gonna open up this beehive. I know this beehive is doing good. I just checked on it a week ago. I just wanted to check on how the honey supers are doing. Looks like we're gonna have a lot of honey with this beehive. Probably 10 gallons easily, just out of one beehive. But we'll see. And another thing is, look how easy it is to put in a super or a box. Look at these notches. It just slides in, boom. Don't have to worry about nothing at all. Like wooden beehives, you really have to fill the corners so that way it's lined up. With this stuff, it's easy. Even this feeder box is easy as well. Let me space it out. You see, gadgets are important to have, and the best equipment, because your job becomes so much easier. And then once again, the lids, you see there's little lip right here, so that way it can slide in very easily. Boom, doesn't wiggle too much. And then you don't need any kind of straps or anything like this. Just lock everything up. So as you can see, this most advanced beehive, in my opinion, is doing amazing. This came from a package of bees, so as this one over there, oh, and the other one, the first one over there as well. And this one so far doing the best. Although this one don't have a queen excluder, but it's proof enough for you guys that these plastic beehive bees don't mind it at all. They're actually loving it, because also they don't purplize everything too hard, because there is no drafts anything anywhere, so that way it's easier to open up and close the boxes as well. These wooden beehives, it's kind of hard to prime open, and the wood is chipping away all the time. So that's why I love these beehives. They don't glue it all together. But let me check another beehive that does not have a queen excluder and also came from the same supplier as the package at the same time as the other ones. When the bees is nice, I don't give them too much smoke. This super I have put 10 frame. Oh wow, look at that. This one is actually doing even better. Check this out. They're already bringing in honey on a super, and they have the most drawn out comb. But this super have 10 frames, so maybe 10 frame supers would be the best. But the idea of a 8 frame in a super, that way they can draw out further the comb, so that way they can fill in more honey, so that way all these 2 extra frames is not in the way. But check this out, they're bringing in honey already, nectar, whatever. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give them another box. Wow, look, they drawn out 3 frames. Yeah, what does it tell us? You never know which beehive is gonna do amazing, but so far I do not like queen excluders, because it's, to me, it looks like it's a honey excluder as well. Wow, I didn't know it's gonna be such a difference. Look at that. So many frames have drawn out on this beehive. So because they're already filling up the comb, it's like maybe 2 weeks, it's going to be all filled up with comb, and most of it with honey probably. You just never know for the weather. So I'm going to give them another 1 box, maybe even 2 boxes. Because this is so far my strongest beehive that is bringing the honey. But again, you see with the plastic, what also you could do if you're not the first year beekeeper, when you extract the honey, save your comb, cover it up, so that way nothing can get in there, and you can reuse it. And that way the bees don't have to eat up a bunch of honey to draw out more comb. So now, since they draw out so many frames with the comb, I'm gonna give them another box, so that way I'm not going to make them honey bound. They always have a little bit of space to work with. And once again, I'll just use the spacer to space it all up. But anyways, definitely subscribe and follow up. We'll see which beehive will produce most honey. The wooden one with the queen excluder, plastic one, or wooden one without queen excluder. We'll find out who will get first, second, and third place. It'll be cool to see.